We've got to do something, I tell you.
Alright, I'm just getting set up for our guest now. Hey Jeff, how you doing, buddy?
Hey man, how you?
Doing good.
How's everybody doing tonight? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I hear you fine, but my screen region's messing up. Oh, I know what happened, I think. I had this all set up. I tested it out. Something's acting up.
Best laid plans, right?
I'm telling you. So how was your day, man? Did you have a good day over at the shop today?
Yeah, busy, dude. Today was a hard juice making day.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
How much did you make?
Oh, dude, 1,000 bottles.
Yeah. There we go. You made 1,000 bottles of juice today, is that what you said?
Somewhere near there, yeah. Lost count.
Wow. Alright, I think I've got everything set up and looking good now. I apologize about that. Something was acting wonky. Wasn't looking good, so. Well, we really appreciate you coming by to hanging out with us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Jeff Dean. He was the guitar player for BADDAX back in the late 80s and early 90s and moved on through a career to open up a chain of brick and mortar vaping shops down in the Florida area. I know that was just a brief synopsis, Mr. Dean, but you know, if you'd like to tell us a little bit about yourself or, you know, about your journey to get to where you are today, give the viewers a chance to learn a little bit about yourself and basically what your mission is as far as helping vapors.
Absolutely. Hey everybody, what's up? I tell you, my journey to get to where I am today started in my garage. I pulled in, I got out of the car, walked through the couple of doors that led me to the room here, set up the computer, and waited for you to call.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, no, it's, you know, kind of an odd thing. The story I always tell people is the beginning of it all was about 4 years ago. About 2 a.m., my wife knocks me off the bed. I basically hit the floor, woke up, and in the middle of a dead sleep and was trying to get a breath of air. And I was like a fish out of water, essentially. Couldn't take a breath. I have asthma, and over the course of 30-something years, chain smoking, I'm a salesman, and I smoke 2-3 packs a day. And she basically was calling 911 and flipping out.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, I went in and started steam in the bathroom and some coffee and different tricks I knew to try to catch, get a little bit of air going. Told her don't call 911, I'd be all right. And I'm hacking my lungs up. Long story short, after about a half hour, 45 minutes, when I could get that little bit of air in my lungs, I started drinking a cup of coffee because after smelling it, now I wanted some.
Right.
And first thing I did was I stepped out on my porch and fired up a damn cigarette.
Well, of course.
Yeah. And I mean, it was so bad that I was like trying to take a little puff of it and almost not inhale. And I'm looking down at that filthy ass ashtray, and I'm telling you, it was not only embarrassing, but it was literally life changing at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And So I hopped on the computer because now, of course, I'm skitsy on coffee. You know what I mean? I can't go back to sleep.
Right.
And I started researching e-cigs. You know, I just typed in, I need something to help me quit smoking, some alternative. All these different things come up, and in the corner, this little thing comes up about e-cigs.
Yeah.
And next day, go to Circle K, you know, local convenience store, bought a little 901, you know, $89, believe it or not, little kit. And, you know, start trying to work it, whatever. And that was back with the old cartridges, you know what I mean, that you'd fill the cartridge up and stick it down on, didn't work worth a damn. And just went on a mission. And
Right.
being the geek that I am, I studied, and started pulling up videos of people. And this is 4 years ago, so there wasn't
Right.
anywhere, you know, nothing like what's out now.
There
You
were
know what I
not
mean?
the options, right?
No. But you know, I found something decent. I fell into an ego. You know, got my first ego battery, and that was, you know, like awesome. And then I went into cartomizers and, you know, discovered Bogue cartomizers and traveled through the dripping atomizers, the cartomizer tanks, everything else. Basically, I went, believe it or not, I went over a year driving sales all day long, dripping in a 306.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, 2 650 ego batteries, 2 306s with drippers on them. Sitting there dripping and driving, you know, steering with my knee all over the road, which,
Wow.
by the way, it's worse than texting and driving. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I went on a road trip on Saturday, and my wife learned how to drip for me the whole way up to 3 hours away.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, then I got into rebuildables, and I'm kind of like, I don't go through a lot of juices selection-wise, but I go through a lot of juice. You know what I mean? I vape probably 5 mils a day or so, but I kind of get hooked on an all-day vape, and I just went on that search. You know, now that I kind of got a rig together, I moved into rebuildables. You know, learned to do the Genesis thing, and the flavor was just unreal, and I kind of found that, and then I realized I didn't really like the juices that I was getting, and you know, I had a buddy of mine that I had met because I was a salesman in construction, and a good buddy of mine that had seen me vaping and all, and I actually turned him onto a kit, got him dripping, and you know, got him doing it.
Yeah.
And him and I sat down one night, you know, and I started making my own juice and just ordering little stuff here and there, putting it together, and he was a Boba's Bounty nut. Tom, you know who you are.
Yep.
And I said, look, I'm going to make a juice to get you off Boba's Bounty, dude, you know, because it was like a mission, you know. I wanted to make this juice. It was going to be, that was the top juice we had, and I was on a mission to make something better. So I finally, you know, hit lightning in a bottle one night, came up with one called Vape My Day, which, you know, a lot of you guys know about, and I still vape it all day myself.
Yep.
And to this day, I just went over there, you know, I won't say when, but to this day, we try Bobas, go back and forth, and it's like, nope, Vape My Day kicks it now.
Nice.
But so just, you know, we sat down, we put a business plan together, we did some numbers, crunched some things, and you know, Tom is he's the ultimate businessman. He's entrepreneur like myself. You know, I kind of do the artsy end of things and the creative side and all that, which he does too. He's great at that too. But you know, I kind of take that ball and do the front end of things.
Yep.
And Tom's the guy behind the scenes, you know, making sure the business runs, and it's blowing up sky high now, man. It's 6 months into it, and it's just every single week is tripling our expectations.
Well, that's great. So you've got, I know that you have more than one brick and mortar, but I'm not exactly sure how many, and are there more in the works? You looking to try to cover up all of Central Florida, or gonna lock that market down, huh, buddy?
No, and we would love to. I'll be honest with you, but no, we actually only have one brick and mortar right now.
Okay.
Our online, you know, our website, innovate.com, that's really where our focus is. Not that it's not on the brick and mortar, don't get me wrong. We're actually looking to move into a larger facility, and our ultimate goal, which we're moving towards, is to create in Central Florida a very nice, you know, vape club with a lounge and the whole 9 yards. Have our facility, you know, have our facility in the back, and do the whole thing and get more meets here. get more of a community going, because there's not a lot here as far as that goes. There's a few stores around, but there's not a big community, and we're big into that, and kind of bringing everybody together, because in my store, when people come in, we were really surprised at how many advanced vapors came through our door. You know,
right. Yeah.
Like Tim, Malachite, and Joel, Dark Knight, who, hey guys, good to see you. You know, they came in, and we didn't realize there was this many people around that were geeks like us, you know, which we should have, but we thought it was going to be mostly newbies.
Yeah.
And we've got a big share of newbies too, but the part that surprises us the most, man, is how these guys will come in there and they're totally fresh off the street, and they get a little starter kit, and next week they're coming in, they're wanting a variable voltage, and they're wanting to kick up to a pro tank, and you know, so it's so cool, man, and it's such a great community and a great hobby, and it just sucks you in. You know, we like to say that we smoke because we had to, we vape because we love to, you know.
Right. That's exactly right. I love this hobby.
Absolutely. But yeah, we'd like to have multiple stores, you know. We're looking to do that. We do have some big news, though, to announce. A couple of really big things happened at Vape Stock. I got a cool t-shirt.
That's sweet.
Yeah, Santa Claus himself gave it to me, so.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, if you want, I'll go ahead and let everybody know.
Absolutely, man. At your leisure.
All right, dude.
It's your show.
Hold on, let me get a drum roll here. I have guitars, but I don't have a drum around me. Stormy's Vapor Cellar, we have signed a contract with, and they are now going to be an authorized dealer of Innovate e-liquids. So we're now, yeah,
that's awesome.
So, yeah, they're going to release them up at Vapapalooza, and on the back of the Vape On, whatever it's called, the Vapor magazine that they're coming out with up there. It's on the back cover and all that. And we've been working on it for a couple of weeks since Vape Stock, and we're really excited. Just got that put together. So, yeah, and Stormy's Vapor Cellar is huge. I mean, they're everywhere you turn, you see Stormy's Vapor Cellar.
Oh yeah, you hear about them all over the place.
Oh yeah, dude,
that's
great people, great deals. You know, I told her that as I was going through this, you know, catching up to go to different places. You know, like the Vapors Den, which, by the way, I want to shout out to the Vapors Den. Everybody here from the Den. Yeah, man, Vapors Den. Cheers, guys. Everybody, if you want to do something good for yourself for vaping, go to thevaporsden.com. Become a member there. Let me tell you something. That's the coolest place I've ever gone to. I'm a member of a bunch of forums, man, but Vapors Den's totally different. Vapors Den is just the greatest. It is. It's like a total family. And it's vaping, of course, but it's so much more than that. But do yourself a favor, go to the Vapors Den. Once you go there, you get there, you know, a guy was talking to me the other night about it. Mark, if you're here, Mark, hey, how you doing, buddy? It's like a family. You know, when people come in, you just kind of feel it. And a few of them fall off, but most of them stick. And it's such a family. It's great. But anyway, I went to the Vapors Den, and I go to sign up and all this, and there's Stormy's. I go to another website, you know, I go to put a banner up on Taste Your Juice for Basardo. There's Stormy's. Everywhere I go, there's Stormy's, you know what I mean? And
right.
and I respect them because they're omnipresent and they're awesome. I get Stormy's, you know, updates every Friday, whatever. So when I met her at Vape Stock, I told her, I said, you know, I woke up the other morning and went to my bathroom and spray painted on my bathroom mirror with shaving cream was, hey, Stormy's updates, 10% off, you know.
Nice. Now,
yeah.
I saw somebody throw in a little while ago a code that you put on your site, a 10% off code with code JEDII with 2 I's over at anyvape.com.
No, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. I'm not putting up with this. Nuh-uh. Man, somebody's jacking into my shit. I'm not doing it.
I saw it scroll through the chat.
That's that dragon ass, isn't it?
I don't remember who posted
I know
it.
who's doing that. That's my partner. That's my partner, Tom.
I'm not throwing anybody under the bus.
That's my twisted sense of humor. Yeah, 10% off.
Awesome.
Code JEDI, man. JEDII. Innovate.com. We got, you see the poster back here. We got the new TNT Black Label line that just came out. And I don't know if you've tried it as of yet or not, but, you know, we have a TNT line, which is our next tobacco. and we use a natural tobacco extract. And the main thing you hear always said about our tobaccos are how smooth they are. And people wonder why, and it's because we don't use a chemical tobacco flavoring. And just as an experiment, for example, we tried mixing one of our flavors and using a chemical tobacco extract instead of the natural.
Yeah.
Change the whole body of it. But
really?
yeah, it's night and day, dude. And we'll never tell our secret, but if you wonder why Innovape's tobaccos are really, really smooth, that's why. But we've got this new TNT line, and I'm telling you what, if you like anything with a tobacco base to it and some undertones, it's smooth as all get out. It's blonde tobacco, which is a very light, smooth tobacco. It's got a peach undertone to it. So make sure you head over, guys. Head over to innovape.com, grab some TNT Peach, 10% off.
Definitely check out the Innovape. I've heard lots of good things. The Heisenberg, I've heard, is just amazing. I've been hearing lots of good things about the Heisenberg over the last couple of weeks. So, folks, if you haven't checked out Innovape, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, Heisenberg, I tell you what, Heisenberg's our top seller. And the funniest part is to hear not only the stories about it, but to hear everybody's different opinion of what's in it.
Right.
Yeah, we don't tell what's in it. The description on the website just says, "Hey, don't feel bad. You won't be breaking any laws to enjoy our glue."
Nice.
But it is, a lot of people, I've heard people say, "Oh, the owner's name is Heisenberg or whatever." No, that's not it. It's basically that my 17-year-old son turned me on to the show Breaking Bad. You ever seen it? You familiar with it?
Well, I've watched the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
So you know the story.
Yeah.
So anyway, for anybody who doesn't know, basically a high school teacher that's a chemist has cancer and has to come up with a bunch of money. And so he goes in business with one of his students and starts making, I guess, meth, right? And it's so pure. It's like everybody wants it, and it's like it got this blue tint to it, so it's called the Blue. And when they finally confront him with the cartel and ask him, what's his name, he comes up with Heisenberg, which was a famous chemist back in the 50s, like for Hitler or whatever, and it's like his hero. So I'm mixing this juice one day, and it smells so incredible, and my son walks in, and I was just testing stuff, and he goes, "Yo, Mr. White, you like Heisenberg in here?"
Nice.
So, I decided to call that juice Heisenberg, and yeah, it's blown up, man. Heisenberg, if you haven't tried it, it's a party in your mouth, dude. Ask anybody. Heisenberg is, once you try it, you're hooked. You won't go back.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to ask all of my people in the room. I know I put it in the chat a couple of times, but I've got his Facebook link right here, facebook.com/Innovape. I checked earlier. He had 245 likes when we started. I want to see that number grow, folks. I'd really love it if you guys headed over to his Facebook page and gave it a like. We bumped it up 5 so far.
Awesome.
I don't know if I can take credit for all those because there are other people on the internet besides us, but
now there's nobody else. I looked around. I got my tablet over here, and I just checked. The internet actually is completely dead except for vapeon.tv right now.
Well, that's awesome. So yeah, let's get him up. I'd love to see him get up over 300 likes. Of course, I know that a lot of folks are already followers of yours, but I'd love to see that.
Hey, awesome, man. We appreciate the plug for sure, and I appreciate you guys doing this. Absolutely.
We love having vendors, and we love supporting the people who support the community. So that's amazing. We love having you here.
Why don't we toss out a 30 ml bottle of juice and give it away?
You ready to do an Innovate 30 ml giveaway? Is it going to be viewer's choice, viewer's next strength, or you got something special in mind?
Well, they can choose whatever they want that's on the site. So we don't do the PG/VG difference. We're proprietary on that. But our juices are from 0 to 24 mil, and you can choose whatever you want.
All right. Well, let's see how many folks we've got in the room. We're up to about 62, so we're going to do 1 through 70 again. There's the start, folks. It's going to be 1 through 70. One number only. In the event of a tie, we will do a juice off. And, there again, it's going to be a 30 milliliter bottle of juice, courtesy of Innovape.com.
Little juice winning music.
Get down. shot. Love me some good tunes. This is awesome. Live music here at vapeon.tv, folks. Thanks everybody for coming by and hanging out. Mr. Jeff Dean, you're awesome, buddy. We really appreciate you being here.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
No problem. Don't stop.
All right, man.
Yeah, keep going. I love me some guitar tunes. Hey, Jeff, we do have one viewer who is over on your site trying to buy, and he's on Canada. He's in Canada, and the box won't allow him to purchase.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're still working on getting it opened up to Canada and the UK. We've been diligently working on that, trust me, and I apologize to you, buddy. I really do.
Okay.
But it's only for US right at this point. We
Tonight's
will have,
giveaways.
yeah, we'll have it opened up soon.
Okay, we get over to the right screen. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you, brother.
Congratulations. Thanks, Jeff. We really appreciate you hanging out, buddy.
Absolutely, man. Everybody give a shout out to Dragon Ass, too. That's my partner, Tom. I don't control any of this. Tom does. I just ask him. I ask him what we can and can't do. He keeps it all in line.
So he makes the coupon codes then, huh?
All the executive decisions, dude. If it was up to me, I'd be sitting in a corner, you know, like passing out free juice. Hey, you want to hear a tune? Dude, have some Heisenberg.
Let's have a good time.
Vape. Let's all vape.
Wee, party!
Yeah, exactly.
So what are you vaping on tonight, Jeff?
Oh, dude, I got 3 different things going. I've got an Orion V2.1 in stealth mode here. That's got TNT Black Label Peach in it.
Awesome.
And, oh my God, it's incredible, dude. My main rig here, which is the Pro Vari with the Zen on it, always vape my day, stays in that one.
Great.
And believe it or not, I'm actually rocking a Vamo with a V3 Claramizer. And let me tell you something. I was telling my partner the other day, people were asking me, they're like, okay, Pro Tank, Vivinova, you know, these are all the things we sell, right? EVOD, whatever. I actually have come to where this V3, Vision V3 Claramizer,
yeah,
I really will put it up against all of them.
Yeah.
You know, the capacity on it's only like 1.8 or whatever, so that kind of sucks. But flavor-wise, like we have a vape bar set up.
Yep. And
I put these on my vape bar with twist on them for people to come try. And let me tell you something, the flavor's so spot on. I've got this one called Vapeception in it right now. And Vapeception is unreal. It's kind of like these 3 are pretty much my favorites. You know, and I mold to different ones, but I only vape my own juice, obviously. I don't want to cheat on myself. But I figure if I can't make something I like, then I can't make something that other people are going to like, you know what I mean?
Right, absolutely.
But the Vamo is a solid unit, you know. I'm telling you, the Vamo with the V3 on it, that's a killer rig right there, and it's not even outrageously expensive, and it's easy to get, you know.
Ginger Snaps was on it. I've already got the email from Ginger Snaps wanting the Heisenberg. She's like, I don't even got to go to the site. I know what I want.
Good choice, good choice, good choice.
I am
never go back from the blue.
That's right. I am still waiting on the email from Drop Top Jim for the Juice Ray juice, though. So if he's still hanging out, if we could get that in, that'd be great.
Cool, man. Cool. We got a couple other good things going on too.
That's great. Let's hear it.
Well, we have because of doing getting a couple of deals going here. We've actually, when we came in, neither of us are computer guru people, and everybody who's come to our site and stuff has probably seen our site, our Facebook, our Twitter page, all that kind of go, advance as we go because we get better and better. I've been trying to do it, but I suck at it, dude. But we actually hired on a professional to come in and revamp everything. And the first thing we did was our labels of our bottles. And if you haven't seen it, if you go to our site, you can see the new labels for our bottles, and they are trick. I mean, yeah. We just got our proofs in today for them, and I'm telling you what, dude, they're banging. One of the best labels I've seen. I know that's not super important, but little things, you know what I'm saying?
Are the pictures on the side? Is that the pictures I'm looking at right now?
That is it.
These are your labels?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll throw one up there for a minute. They do look pretty slick.
The only difference is on the labels, it doesn't have the fruits and the picture of Jesse with his outfit on and all that. Because on the small label, you wouldn't be able to see that anyway.
Right.
But the actual label design is absolutely.
That looks pretty slick, man. I like it.
Yeah, very, very sweet. Redid our logo and everything else. If you've been to our Facebook page recently, you'll see the new logo up there and all that. So we're pretty stoked about all of it, and the website's being completely revamped.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It'll be coming up as it goes.
Okay. Going through a lot of stuff. A lot of changes there, making things streamlined, make it easier to do, make it, more efficient in the shop. That sounds great. Yeah.
It's a fun process. It's a lot of work. I mean, it becomes like all encompassing. We thought we were going to be able to keep working regular jobs and things, but it pretty much took us over within like a month and a half, to where it takes every bit of all we can do now to hold on to the range. You know what I mean? And we really appreciate everybody who comes to it, and gets our juice. And I tell you what, it's been overwhelming. It really has.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot to get onto. I mean, I know it's hard enough. I've got a friend here locally who runs a brick and mortar, but he doesn't do any internet sales at all. So my hat's off to you, man. I know it's a lot of work to run a brick and mortar, and you slap an internet sales on top of it, and man, I know it's a lot of work, and you've got a great thing going.
Appreciate it. Like I said, I think that it's not only is it the quality of what you put out, but I think a lot of it too is that we are, first and foremost, we're vapers.
Right.
And we're not businessmen that said, hey, this e-cig thing's taken off, let's go start one. We're a couple of vapers, hardcore vapers, that said, we need a better juice, we need a better way, we want,
Right, well, we could tell that. You didn't show up with an ego twist. Like, yeah, I got my Orion and my Provari. No, that's awesome. I'm glad it's picking up for you and things are going good. So that's great.
I appreciate it, dude.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. I really do.
When you hear about a vendor who is revamping things and streamlining it and adding to their website and changing this and that and getting new labels, you know that things are, I mean, we're not all getting rich off of this. None of us are. But, I mean, things are going well enough for you to want to keep going and make it bigger and better, as opposed to, man, I need to just kind of keep it the way it is. So I'm glad that things are going good for you. I'm definitely going to be scoping out the site. And I hate to say it, but I didn't really hear about your site except for about within the last month. And I've been checking it out pretty hard. Probably the next juice order I make is going to come from innovate.com. Because I've been hearing lots of good things about, like I said, the Heisenberg, and there's plenty of others that are in there. You just mentioned it earlier. You've got it in your device, and it sounded so good.
The Vape My Day, dude. You gotta try it. Vape My Day,
yes.
Yeah, you gotta try it. Well, that's a lot of things too. I don't know if people kind of catch on, but to me, it's all the complete package of it. All of our juice names, if you've noticed, are either musical or cinematic themed. So we're trying to brand this thing and make it a cool thing, along with being a very quality, high quality, awesome tasting liquid. We don't care, first and foremost, whether it's in a junk bottle and it's called, Joe's Vape, whatever.
Right.
Quality has to be first for the vape itself, but once you've got that locked down, to me, you might as well make it something that's cool, because this community is a cool community. You know, they're savvy, they're internet people, they're people who are, you know, like us. They like movies, they like entertainment.
Yep.
Why not have a little fun with you know, the vape you're doing and whatever device you've got at the same time. You know, and that's why we kind of try to make ours a little bit more lively and unique, because instead of going, oh, I'm vaping, you know, such and such cherry, mocha, peach, mint, you know, caramel from such and such, so where you can say, hey, dude, I'm vaping Heisenberg, dude. You know, and once you say Heisenberg, there's no other. You know that you're vaping Heisenberg, right?
Right.
So anyway, yeah, it's pretty cool, man. We're trying to, like I said, no matter what happens with it, we're going to make sure that we mix the juice ourselves, and that the juice formulas stay, you know, exactly the same as they are, and that the flavors, we don't skimp on anything. We use no water mixture or nothing. Yep. And that's not going to change no matter what.
Well, and I can tell you the very first thing I liked about your site. I went to your site, and yeah, it looks nice. You've got awesome stuff, and you've got good stuff. You've got good prices on your stuff. I mean, actually, it looks real good. I've been here a lot. What I liked is that you don't have 127 flavors. You've got 16 flavors on your site. I'm sitting here looking at it right now. You've got 16 flavors. I've said it to other vendors as well. I go to a site that has 127 flavors, and I know that I'm taking a risk. If I go to a site that has 16 flavors, I know that they've taken the time for each and every one of those flavors that make sure that those flavors are the best that they can be. And that's what I look for when I go to a site to buy juice. I don't want to see a site that has, you know, 127 flavors. I want to see a site that has some of their best stuff out there. This is what they basically, just like you're vaping your own stuff. That's got to be good stuff. I mean, you don't have all those flavors, and you've taken the time to perfect each flavor or the way you feel. I mean, the flavors are your own, and that's what's great. You've got 16 flavors. You've worked on each and every one of them. You're not just taking flavors and mixing it with nicotine and PG and VG and sending it out the door. You're taking the time and putting the love into your juice, and that's what's great. That's what makes a good vendor. So
I appreciate it, man. I'll tell you, we have many discussions about this, and when we decided what we were going to do and come up with this line, I literally made these juices, you know, myself, not as a company or anything else, and I helped probably 100+ people locally get switched over to an e-cig. I was a traveling salesman. I sold, believe it or not, I sold aluminum, but I sold like screen rooms and pull enclosures, and so I was basically on the road all day, and I'd pull up to people's houses and go out on their back, you know, screen area. And while I was back there, I'd be vaping, you know, and I'd see them smoking and whatever. And a lot of my customers and my friends and co-workers and people that own different construction companies, like my partner Tom, and I would drive these juices after I started making them to my friends, and literally either not charge at all or only charge them, you know, a couple of bucks that it cost me for the materials, you know, and I'd go on my home computer and print out a little label and all that. And it just got overwhelming, where everybody came back and said, you know, hey, dude, I want that flavor. I don't want to go order another flavor now. But we sat down and decided, we had gone to all those sites where you could mix and match and you can make your own flavor. You can create your own concoction or whatever the case may be. And I was just, you know, to me what happens is this. If you don't have a select amount of things where people can come in and know that they've got this, and that, they're going to get overwhelmed. If you've got 150, they're going to get overwhelmed in the first 20. You know, I see it even with 16 flavors where people come into our store and they pick it up and they start going down the juice bar trying flavors, and by the 6th or 7th one, they found 3 or 4 they like. And they're at that point, they're getting kind of a dead tongue, and they're getting all confused and going, wait, which one did I like or whatever? So, you know, what I try to do is to give a variety that kind of hits the spectrum for a vapor. Whether it's, you know, TNT, which is kind of a straight tobacco, real rich, you know, for people that want that cigarette feel, to the menthols, where people want something menthol or maybe with a little fruit in it or whatever, to, you know, the caramels and the fruit flavors, and a few unique things that are just their own, you know.
Right.
And we're expanding the line a little bit. The TNT Black Label line does have a few different selections. but it's all the base. That's the one thing. If you like TNT and you like the TNT peach, you'll like the TNT strawberry. You'll like the TNT apple. You know, so all of the others are just a little enhancement on top of that base flavor that you know you're getting that quality every time you vape it, just with a little bit different nuance.
Right.
And I think that's, you know, to me, that's the way I want to see it when I go to vape something. And I think most people are happier that way because we all have our all-day vape. And then we stretch out and find other little vapes we like, but then our all-day vape is our all-day vape. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and that's what I try to do is create all-day vapes for, you know, a variety of different needs.
Exactly.
And hopefully that's what we've done, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like you've got a great little set of juices, and you got your head on straight. I mean, you've got it going good. And like I said, when I go to your site, I see good prices on kits, and I see good prices on juice. I love it. I see good flavors on juices. I love seeing the individual names. It makes it hard. It makes it hard whenever you have an individualized name like that, because people see Heisenberg, and you're like, okay, well, what's in Heisenberg? And it makes it hard to decide if you want to try a flavor like that. But, you know, I love seeing you check out the description, and that's all you need.
Right. I'll tell you, this is the funniest part. I know what goes into them, and I could tell people exactly what goes into it, and when they vape it, they're going to get something different out of it.
Yep.
Because that's how e-liquids are.
Absolutely.
You can put 5 flavors together, and by the time you combine them in a certain composition and then put it into a certain device. You know, my partner got a K-Fun the other day, and
yep.
their K-Funs are out of this world, by the way, if you've never tried one. But anyway, they're outrageous. So do I. I'm kind of jealous and mad. But anyway, we were sitting there vaping Vape My Day back to back because that's his all day as well.
Yep.
And the profile of it changed completely in that K-Fun as compared to the Zen. You know.
Right.
So it's the device you're using, what kind of wattage you're feeding it to. You know, and everybody's going to get a little something different. I do try to make them to where no matter what device you put it on, you get the great flavor, you get the great vapor production. You know, that's why, like I said, I sell the V3 as a starter kit with the Ego battery, and I can pick that up and put our juice in it and get the same basic flavor, get that big taste in my mouth, get the big vapor, nice throat hit in the back. So, you know, and then all the way up to a Zen or a rebuildable or a high-end unit.
Yep.
You know, it just gets better and better and enhances it. So
absolutely, it's what I tell folks all the time. That's what's great about this hobby. It can be as complicated or as simple as you want it. It can be as cheap or as expensive as you want it. And some of the devices that are coming out now, like the tank that you just said that you have on your Vamo right now, you know, like you said, you put it right up next to your Zen that you have on your Pravari and the other stuff, and that's what you're holding right now. So, you know, it can be as expensive or as cheap and as easy or difficult as you want it to be. That's what makes it great.
Yeah. I think Basardo said it best. He said the very best device on the market is the one that keeps you off a cigarette.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Yeah. That's the way I feel about it.
Yep. And I agree. And that's why whenever you said, you know what, my first kit was a $90 kit that I picked up. It was a $90 808 kit. I didn't cringe. You know why? Because 4 years later, you're still vaping.
Yeah.
So, you know, it worked for you.
Yeah, I actually haven't had a cigarette since then. I just celebrated my 4-year vape anniversary. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, we give people a 1-week challenge when they come in, and you know they come in and obviously you know the deal how after you get to where you're vaping you can smell the cigarette smoker a mile away.
Oh yeah.
And they come wandering in and they've got that smell just coming off of them, and the first thing they do is they smell and they go, "Damn, it smells good in here." Yep. You know, what are you guys doing? But I tell them take a week. Just take 1 week. Every time you want a cigarette, grab your device, take a vape, and after that week, you'll go through the progression, and you won't be able to smoke a cigarette afterwards because you'll crave your vape, and you'll want that vape, but the cigarette will smell and taste so nasty to you afterwards. And to me, it's the greatest thing ever invented. I mean, it's literally a lifesaver, which is a whole different topic on the political side of things, which I won't get into. But I can't believe that the government and the world in general can't see from all of the people that are out there that are walking, living, breathing proof, literally. how much of a lifesaver this thing is.
And you know what? I saw one on Facebook. Somebody linked one on Facebook today. Doctors are still putting out, reports that say that vaping doesn't help people quit smoking, and that's bull crap. I'm sorry, but I'm getting ready to celebrate a year, just about exactly a month away. Tomorrow is my 11 months cigarette free. So
congrats to you, brother.
Thanks, man. Cheers. And
cheers to you.
I tried.
You showed me your rig lineup in 11 months. All right, so
yeah, I got all of them sitting here. But and
I thought I was bad.
I tried to quit smoking. It was my New Year's resolution to quit smoking, and I tried everything. I tried the gums, the patches, eating candy, using suckers, everything, and nothing worked. And finally, I talked to my buddy who'd been vaping for like a year at that point, and said, "All right, get me a starter kit." And he got me a Blug starter kit, and I vaped on that for 2 days before I got a couple of Ego 1000 twists. And then after 30 days, I picked up a lava tube, and for my 90-day vaporversary, I got myself the Pravari. And it's been all downhill ever since.
Well, damn, dude, you stepped right in.
I did.
I mean, I remember when I got my first Ego Twist. I was in heaven on that Ego Twist, dude. I was like, oh my God, this Ego, and I still to this day, to me, the Ego Twist is a game changer. It literally is. I think it's one of the best devices ever. I've got my trusty old Twist right here, which is 3+ years old.
Yeah.
With my 510 dripper on it, and I'll tell you what, I'll put that up against anything as one of the best vapes out there still.
Well, I'll tell you what. Me and one of my buddies went to a concert one night, and he took an Ego 650 with a clearomizer, and I took my lava tube with a VV Nova tank. The lava tube didn't make it out of the mosh pit; it broke in half, and the Ego 650 was just fine.
Yep. That's another thing about our store. We only sell authentic Joytech twists. I'm kind of a stickler on that, and when you own a store, the worst thing is when you see somebody walk back through the door and they've got that look in their face, and you just know something's broken.
Yeah.
And obviously this stuff comes from China or whatever, so you're not paying the $300-400 for a high-end mod or whatever. So I mean, you kind of have to understand with them, and I try to be, I take care of my customers beyond crazy. I have to pull back sometimes, but anyway, but to me, when you get the knockoff stuff, I had a lady on Vapor's Den actually who got some knockoff Vivi Novas, and we sent her some authentic Vivi Novas, and she came back and she's like, I can't believe it, they came in a box. They came with two extra replaceable heads. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, hold on. Was that number 3?
That was number 3.
All right, brother.
I'm working
Rock
on it.
on.
They are the tall boys. They're the 16-ounce cans.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're not rocking the little ones there.
Mm-mm.
I'm about to hit bottle of water number 2 here on you.
I've got a big giant cup of water sitting right here.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to still be able to go to work the next day, so I drink plenty of water with it.
Oh yeah, got to stay hydrated. And that's another thing about vaping too. It does dehydrate you a little bit, so you do need good water while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Why don't we toss out another bottle of juice, man?
Okay, I'll do the giveaway this time. How's that sound?
You do the giveaway right. I'm gonna give us some more giveaway music.
All right, I'll pause the regular tunes and we'll listen to you jam out.
All right, man.
I love listening to it.
Cool.
All right, we've got 63 in the room, so I'm gonna get the start ready. And what did I say? 63. We're gonna do 1 through 75. I'm gonna go ahead and change it right there, right now, so I do the right number. So we've got to start putting the room, folks. This is going to be for some juice from Innovate.com. It's going to be 130 milliliter bottle, your choice of flavor, your Nick strength. And it's going to be one number only. Closest to the number high or low will take the prize. In the event of a tie, we will do a juice off. Just our little way of telling y'all how much we appreciate appreciate you coming by to hang out here at Vape On TV with us. If you've not had a chance to check out innovate.com, please make sure you do so. They've got some awesome juice flavors, got some great price on the stuff on their site, so make sure you hit them up sometime and let them know we sent you. They love hearing that stuff. They like hearing that what they're doing on these networks is making a difference. So definitely let them know you heard about them here at vapeon.tv. And if you haven't had a chance to check out their Facebook page over at facebook.com/innovate, make sure you hit them up over there, give them a little like. I want to see how high we can get that little number for them tonight. I hope it'd be, I'm hoping to get at least a couple dozen. Love seeing those piffs. You guys are awesome. We appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. I'm going to go ahead and flip over to the giveaway screen. Thank you so much for hanging out here at vapeon.tv with us. Cheers to you. And I flipped away to the wrong screen, so there we go. Congratulations, Kyle. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. Jeff,
cool,
thanks
Kyle.
So much.
Do
Thanks
some vape
so
my day, brother. Trust me. It's been pretty awesome there, Jedi.
Thanks, man. I'm having a great time. I really appreciate you coming by to hang out.
Not a problem, dude. Not a problem, man. Looking forward to it. Glad we did it.
Yeah, so one thing that I haven't really asked you about, and you never really touched on,
okay.
I've always been interested in how was life on the road back when you were touring with your band and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I tell you, I turned 47 next week, the 27th actually, in 3 days. And I started playing guitar when I was 5 years old.
Oh my.
So, yeah. So, throughout my childhood, my father was a professional musician. He passed away in January this year.
I'm so sorry, man.
I appreciate that. It was a long, hard struggle, but
wow.
he had a pretty full career, and I tell you what, just such an amazing storyteller and songwriter. And the thing about musicians is, no matter what we do, we tell a story with it. Whether they're even when you're not playing a song with lyrics,
right.
The music you're playing is telling a piece of how you feel. You know what I mean? And it's kind of being from the South. Also, there's kind of a special thing to that because it's always a little humor wrapped into it, a little insight. But at any rate, I spent my entire childhood doing nothing but sitting in a room playing the guitar.
Yeah.
And of course, during my era, I got turned on to Van Halen, Jimmy Page, Hendrix, people like that. I had an older brother, and he was my mentor, so I was kind of 10 years ahead of my time musically from being around him and listening to all the people that he turned me on to. So by the time that I got my band together and formed, my nickname was BADDAX my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your axe is your guitar or
Yes.
your instrument. And so my older brother would always take me in because I'd be like a little 15-year-old snot-nosed punk with long hair and zits, and but I could shred a guitar. You know what I mean? I could come in and play Eruption and all the Eddie Van Halen stuff and the Hendrix stuff and freak people out with it. So he'd take me into his under his wing and to the bars he was playing at or whatever, and say, "You got to check out my little BADDAX brother." And they thought he said badass, so it kind of went from badass to BADDAX, and so I was called Little BADDAX for a long time. And I kind of dropped that to BADDAX when I formed my band because it just fit, you know what I mean? But we got signed in '89. Went through a long, hard tour back then. It was playing, grinding every single night, doing nothing but. One thing about me is I never did drugs. I never drank. I never, my music was my drug. And I would hire a lot of guys, and they would come in, and I would have to show them this is a work environment. Yeah. And, we did what we did is on a very strict level, even when it was to play a bar gig for 15 people. It didn't matter to me. To me, there was the chance that one guy was going to be there sitting back in the back of the room from Sony Entertainment or Warner Brothers or whatever every single night, and that's how I looked at it.
Right.
You know, and that's kind of how I look at making juice too, believe it or not, is every bottle has to have that intensity and that, you know, that purity to it, because you don't know who's going to get a hold of it. And that's your legacy. You know what I mean? But when we finally did get signed and we started touring on a serious basis, we didn't know anything. And you know, business-wise or whatever, we didn't know anything. And we had our first album come out, and we went through a lot of ups and downs with it. We opened up a lot of good shows. We got on some good tours and played in front of a ton of people. And, you know, my thing was, whenever I got on stage, I wanted to take over for that time that I had. I wanted to take their minds away. I wanted to drop their jaws, and when they walked out, I didn't want them forgetting that they saw me that night.
What they saw, exactly.
Right. That, to me, was the most important part of it. The most important part was they paid their money to be here. I wanted them to get the biggest bang I could give them for their buck, and every single ounce of whatever blood, sweat, and tears I had, pour it out and leave nothing, leave it on the field, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's awesome. I mean, that's drive and determination, you know?
Yeah, it is. It has to be. You have no choice, you know, but it. And I know probably some people are like laughing, going, "Hey, dude, I don't even know who you guys were," and I agree. I got an old joke that I tell people that one day VH1's going to come up to me, and instead of doing a, you know, "Where Are They Now" special, they're going to do a "Where Were You Then" special. You know.
Nice.
And I'd be under like the has-beens that never was section. You know what I'm saying? And
you know
we do our reunion.
I hear you talk about playing in front of 30,000 people. That doesn't sound to me like somebody who never was, dude. Sounds like you had a good time.
It was. I tell you, it's breath. It's, you know, my name's Jeff Dean Connell, and I went by Jeff Dean. That's my first and middle name. And when I came off the road, my wife was pregnant with my first son, who's now 17. And we did a show called Foundations Forum in 1995 out in Burbank, California. And that show had many, many large, you know, heavy rock, heavy metal-esque kind of bands out there, including Judas Priest, Rob Halford's band Fight, Testament, you know, just a lot of huge acts. And we basically, for our little show that we did, we blew the place up. You know, MTV came and interviewed us, put us on Headbangers Ball, Rolling Stone magazine, you know, wrote me up and wrote about the guitar and all this stuff, and it was really, really cool. But there was a change happening at that point from the heavy rock, guitar-oriented style music that we were over to the grunge.
Yeah.
And, you know, the alternative grunge had pretty much infiltrated, and, you know, at that time we had an album called Walking the Wire out, had sold over 250,000 copies and had a number 31 song on the radio playing.
Awesome.
So, yeah. I mean, it was cool, but at that point, there was no money. I mean, we were so knee deep into the investors, the record labels. You know, we got a bus, we got, you know, some equipment, and, you know, T-shirts and hats and CDs and all the things that you dream about. So we thought that it was, you know, bang, this is it. But we didn't know anything. We you know, I was almost 30 years old and had been in a bubble my entire life.
Yeah.
And now my wife's pregnant. And, you know, literally, I mean, 7 months, whatever, pregnant. And I sit down at the table, you know, for them to basically re-sign our contract, because we had a 5-album deal with them and we were 3 albums into it. And they said, we're going to sell your contract to the Japanese division of our label.
Oh, wow.
And you're going to go to Japan. And I'm like, okay, well, that sounds fun. Yeah, sure, let's go to Japan. And they're like, okay, but you're going for 2 years. And, you know, it's a non-stip contract to where you can't come back.
Right.
And all this other stuff. And so I'm like, wow, what's going on with this? And I start talking to some, you know, guys that I knew who had done this kind of route, who had, you know, knew more than I did.
Right.
And they're like, dude, stay away from it. You know, you end up in little rat-ass shit hotels. You don't get paid half the time. Half the time they don't even, you'll show up and you won't be booked. You know, like they'll have your name, you know, scheduled on the marquee, and you'll show up and they'll have someone different there for no reason, whatever.
Right.
You know, just craziness, right? But we were selling records over there. We were selling CDs over in Germany and Japan and Brazil, and selling bunches of them. You know,
Nice.
it was big time.
Yeah.
So my lawyer basically sat with me because I was our manager at the time.
Okay.
Or he was our manager, but I basically managed the band. I wrote all the music and played all the instruments in the studio and all that.
Right.
So my drummer and bassist really were just hired kind of guns, and they didn't have any control over anything, so I had to make the decision. And I said, no, I can't do it. And so the record label pretty much dropped us at that point.
Yeah.
And it was a real bad shocker. And so we went from, like I said, our last show was 20,000 people, MTV, the whole 9 yards, and write-ups in magazines. I literally had the write-up in Rolling Stone come when I was sitting on a couch, and my drummer, I was back in Florida on my couch, and I was looking to book a gig for like a classic car show with Molly Hatchet, which of course is a has-been band at the time, and still a big act. Just kind of it was like one of these shows they do here in Florida where they have barbecue, and it's outdoors, and they'll have classic cars, barbecue, and hey, some rock acts going on over here. You know what I mean?
Right.
So anyway, yeah, it was cool. It was great. We really thought that at one point we thought we had hit that hump and that we were beyond a point of no return. Yeah. That we'd be doing it for the rest of our life, and we'd be rich, and this was going to just snowball and whatever. And it kind of flipped backwards instead. And I found myself with a newborn child and no money and I didn't even have a car. I mean, I literally had been on the road my whole life, and I was 30 years old. So I kind of had to rebuild from there and learn to be Jeff Connell, the adult, instead of Jeff Dean, the rocker.
Oh, that's no fun.
It really sucked.
It was a big change, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I cut my hair. I literally locked my guitars away for about 6 months, and pretty much said, "That's it. I can't do this anymore." But over time, I had a couple of breaks come my way. I've always been a writer, and I got a book published, and made a bunch of money. Made some money off of it, and so I recorded an instrumental CD. Yeah. Which, by the way, this is something else I was going to tell the winners here tonight. I'm going to send a copy of my instrumental CD after hours with each of the Juice winners.
How awesome is that?
So, and I, believe it or not, I got a few soundtracks where I had a Chevy truck commercial that used one of my songs, and I had a television show that used one of my songs as a soundtrack in the background or whatever. And a good friend of mine worked for Miramax Films, and I had been toying around with this novel I was writing, and he goes, "Hey, dude, you should go to this class that my friend runs on screenwriting at UCLA." So I went to this class, and I learned to write screenplays, movie scripts, and I've been writing scripts ever since, and that's really where my passion lies now. I've now authored 5 screenplays, and I've sold 1, and I'm working to get the others out there, but that's kind of what I moved into, So that's kind of where the journey led. Although now it's pretty much all in a vape all day, every day.
Yeah, I understand. What's going on, Vapor Jedi? How you doing tonight? I appreciate all you folks coming by to hang out with us tonight. We're hanging out with Jeff Dean, owner and proprietor of Innovate.com. He's got some partners who are hanging out with us here in the room, and we really appreciate you coming by to hang out tonight. I think it's awesome. I've really been enjoying it.
Definitely, man. Definitely cool.
What would you think about doing a little Q&A session with some of the viewers? If they have any questions, they could throw them in the room and go from there.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I've already got actually one question in a PM from a viewer. They were concerned or interested in some of the colorings that some of your juice flavors are. They were interested to know if what kind of flavorings you use, if they're natural, what you got going on there. They were concerned about some of the colors and the food colorings that you might use in your juices. So,
well, we've and I've had this discussion / argument with many people. We have studied everything on a chemical molecular level, and basically I will tell you, I'll break it down for you from what we do first and how our juices are made. Our juices are all made from kosher food grade ingredients.
Yeah.
We use a 70-30 blend on all of our juices, proprietary. That's 70 VG, 30 PG. I also usually get a discussion when I speak with other people in regard to that, because of course that's not what normal blenders do. Most people think, oh, that's too much VG and VG loses flavor, yada yada. I will tell you that from a chemical standpoint, that is absolutely incorrect. A lot of people also don't understand, or they just haven't studied it, which is understandable, to know what happens to an e-liquid when it's vaporized. And from everything that I've studied and learned, and also the proof is actually in the results, is what I like to say. So vape our liquid and you'll see. Ours is, to me, the perfect blend to operate in all systems. It's food grade stuff, which is 91% pure or above. It's all kosher ingredients, so we use kosher VG, kosher PG, and kosher PG-based nicotine. We also use all FDA-approved, food grade approved flavor agents. We do not use any chemical or flavoring agents as far as our tobacco flavors go, which gives the tobacco a much more pure flavor.
Right.
And the coloration of it, at the amounts that we use for our colorations, and I know that it's not necessary, and I've had, even at Vape Stock, I had a guy that I got into a long conversation with at the bar, and he was going, oh, well, with all the problems with, vaping and this and that, it's just one more thing we don't need in our community, And I said,
Wow.
okay, look. I said, look, dude, here's the deal. First of all, when you're vaporizing that liquid into your lungs, the amount of food coloring that's in there, even if you put a bunch of food coloring in there, it's not going to bother it won't bother anywhere near as much as the other things that are going in there that should be in there. It has no effect whatsoever, and that's been chemically tested and proven. But number two, we use like 1 drop of food coloring in 1,000 milliliters of juice to create the color of Heisenberg, for example, which is a bright blue. It takes so little that by the time you disperse it, it's nothing, But to me, here's the real test of it. There's something called synesthesia. That's the study of the effect of environment, color, setting, influence, and everything else on the human body's ability to taste. People do not realize how important everything that surrounds tasting goes into the taste you get out of something.
Yeah.
So if you take something that is clear and you taste it, and then you take and you put blue to it and you taste it with the blue coloring to it,
Yep.
your mind will not allow you to taste the same thing. It's just a proven fact. And I'll tell you who learned that lesson the hard way was Pepsi.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, Pepsi did blind taste testing on their Pepsi Clear because they removed the color agents out of it.
Yep.
The blind taste testing was 100%, or whatever, not 100, but was overwhelming that no one could taste the difference. So they put out Pepsi Clear. Well, Pepsi Clear flopped big time.
Bigger than
because,
anything.
Yeah, because when you can see that there's no brown color and it's not what you're used to, then your brain is scrambling automatically to find something familiar. And it's just a connect that your brain makes. The way I explain it, especially to like new smokers, when they take their first drag off of e-cig and they go, oh, I want something to taste like a Marlboro. Well, it's the same
Right.
concept.
Yep.
Picture you're sitting in a bar and you've got a glass of water and the guy next to you's got a vodka. And you accidentally grab his glass and take a big old drink, and your brain is telling you you're taking a drink of water, and then it hits your mouth and it's vodka.
Right.
Well, that shock that your brain goes through searching for the familiarity
Yep.
is it's exactly the same thing.
Right.
If I was
Absolutely.
if I was to give you Heisenberg with no coloring in it, where it was absolutely clear, it's still great, but it wouldn't taste the same. It wouldn't come across the same. And the funny part is, because of that bright blue color, the people come back and tell me, oh, it's blueberry, oh, it's this, oh, it's blue Powerade, it's blue raspberry, it's it's Jolly Rancher, blue slushies, whatever.
Right.
None of those are in the ingredients. They're not even close.
Right.
But because the brain connects with that blue, that's what happens, and it's more enjoyable.
Absolutely.
It's not hurting you. So, and that I wouldn't put it out if it was hurting anyone. And I don't use alcohol in my mixtures. I don't use water and cut my mixtures down. I don't use anything that's not food grade or above, which is 91% or above.
What kind
the only
of
thing
sweeteners?
above that,
What kind of sweeteners do you use?
just your standard sweeteners. Just, the standard, it's called by different names,
Right.
maltose, whatever.
Stevia,
but it's your
yeah.
it's your standard sweetener. Well, we don't use that one. I use the one that's more common. Ethyl maltol is more common to e-liquids, and it doesn't take. VG is very sweet, and a lot of because we have a 70% VG blend, our liquids are naturally a little sweeter than a 50-50 or a 70-30 PG blend would be.
Right.
So,
exactly. Because that just adds to the flavor.
Yeah. If you taste straight VG, it's very sweet. So. That's basically what we use, and I'll tell you this, I know for a fact, and you can go to any chemist, any doctor, you can have it tested or whatever the case is, not one of them can come back and tell you that there's anything that's harmful about putting a little bit of food coloring in it, at the amounts that we do. I think that it does give it a little enhancement. I personally like it. I'm a marketing guy,
yeah.
and to me, it does add to the overall enjoyment of that liquid. And I think that I've proven that over the last 6 months with the way the reaction people have had to it.
Absolutely.
So I stand by it. And some people are going to say, "Hey, I won't vape it because it's got coloration in it." Well, I'm sorry, you're missing out on a great vape. And if you do feel that way, then just go to Vape My Day or Vapeception or TNT. There's no coloring in those. You know what I mean? So.
Right. They're right there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we're just about to hit, we got 12 minutes left in the show, and I just want to make sure that there's a chance that you get to say everything to the viewers that you'd like to say. Do you have anything else going on tonight that you'd like to share with the folks?
Well, I tell you, one main thing is I was over in the chat about 8 o'clock before I came on here. I turned it off because I didn't want to echo and get all confused and stuff, and I'm not that bright.
Oh, yeah.
But I popped out a bunch of hellos to the people I happened to see.
Yeah.
And I can't possibly go down everybody's names, but I do want to say a real special thanks to everybody, mainly my partner Tom. Without my partner Tom, trust me, this wouldn't go. And I know a lot of people don't see Tom as much, but I'll tell you what, that guy is absolutely incredible. And him and I are peas in a pod, and it's a very special thing when you can get with somebody not only in business but in life that you literally can connect like
absolutely.
That. So that's the one thing. Also, Tim Malachite and Joel Dark Knight, those guys are incredible guys. I so appreciate you guys. I really do. They come by, they help. They come by the shop. They just do it for nothing but to hang out.
That's awesome.
And because they love the liquid and because they're great guys, and they've helped me in tons of ways. And I just so appreciate that. All the guys from the Den, Vapor's Den, I do want to plug that one more time. Not because I have anything involved with them, just because I love those guys. I really do. I saw Darth Vapor was there, Cat77, Kaz, Makeup Junkie. I saw quite a few people I saw from the Vapor's Den that were there. And guys, thank you so much. I mean, honestly, I love that place. And if anybody listening tonight, if you want to have a great time and a great community to get connected with, go to thevaporsden.com. Seriously. Basically everybody that came by, everybody that gets the liquids, everybody that supports us, and everybody that just keeps on vaping, whether you're using our liquids or anybody else's, just so we all stick together, just so we keep this thing going. Because the worst thing, my greatest fear would be if somebody steps in one day and the Nazi police come in and say, "Okay, vaping you can't do anymore."
We're shutting you down.
I don't know what I would. No, not business wise. I'm talking about personally. If they said you can't vape anymore, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah,
I could not. I couldn't go back to smoking,
and
I'd freak out, man. So I just want to say thanks to everybody who signs whatever petitions, who supports vendors, who supports shows like yours.
Supports CASA.
Yeah, CASA, absolutely, 100%. Goes to the vape meets. Just keeps the community strong. and it's the greatest community I've ever been involved with. You know, going from the rock and roll community and like, you know, the Hollywood community of writers and all that, where it's so cutthroat and it's so, you know, jab, jab, jab. This is such a wide open, nice, great community with everybody trying to help people and paying it forward and all that. You know, it's just awesome. So everybody, thanks, you know, for making this happen and making it, you know, stick around. And basically for vaping, man, live long and vapor. That's what we always say.
That's right. Woohoo!
Yeah, yeah.
So you've already been awesome and given away 2 30 ml bottles of juice. Is there anything else that you'd like to do for the amazing viewers that we have hanging out for us tonight?
Well, let me see. How about we do some kind of a really, really super awesome giveaway of a grand prize? How's that sound?
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's give someone the last grand prize, which will be an LSK-T starter kit. We'll throw in a 15 ml bottle of their choice of juice. I'll, of course, throw in one of my CDs, which that, you know, may be a bonus or not.
I think it'd be a bonus.
Promise me no Frisbee with it, that's all. They cost me a lot of money, and they're sitting in a garage now.
Wow.
And let's throw that out to let's throw a randomizer out there and let's toss that out to somebody.
Awesome. All right, well, let's get this start. I'm going to get this start ready. Refresh this, see how many folks we got hanging out with us. I should have been doing that. I was looking for a link for the kit, but I didn't get there in time.
Well, if you've never vaped one, they're really cool looking. They're sleek and they're nice, but they vape incredible, man. They've got a little, you know, atomizer system in there with a bottom fed. It's got 2 holes punched in the bottom. You just fill the tank.
Yeah.
And man, they taste awesome. They vape really good. I got a black one. I don't have any white ones left, but I'll toss a black one out there. It's got the nice rubberized coating on it, like an Ego does. They're really sharp. They're a really great little secondary kit to have, and even they're a great kit for if you don't have anything. They're a great kit.
Right. That's awesome. So I did put the start in the room, folks. It's going to be 1 through 75, one number only. In the event of a tie, we will do a gift pack off, I guess.
A grand prize off.
Yes. I will PM the winner with my email address, and all I really need you to do is send, well, you'll have to go to innovate.com and pick out your flavor of juice that you'd like to have. And then let me know. There you go. We're ready for you, Jeff.
Ready for me, huh?
I paused the music. I saw you pick it up.
Cool.
Yeah. So, you know, I'll need you to let me know what your flavor selection and nicotine strength is, but I'll need you to email me your username, your real name, your address, you know, and we'll get this stuff off to you. Let me know the flavor and the nicotine strength. What an amazing gift pack, Jeff. We really appreciate you hanging out here tonight. Everybody, if you haven't had a chance to check out innovate.com, make sure you head on over and check them out. They've got some awesome stuff. Looks like they got some great prices on things. It makes it easy to vape when you got great vendors like this, I'm telling you. Check out some of their flavors. Get you some of the Heisenberg, some of the Blue, some of the Vape My Day. Lots of good stuff over there. I'm interested to make my next juice purchase, which will probably be in a few weeks. I'm going to try some of it, and I hope you do too. And again, if you haven't checked out their Facebook page, here's the link to it again. Make sure you head on over and give them a little look, and, you know, give a like to their page. Let them know we appreciate them coming to hang out with us here at vapeon.tv, and, you know, hope their stuff goes well. That the numbers have slowed down a little bit, so if you haven't had a chance to get your number in just yet, please feel free to do so. We'll be putting that stop in here as soon as I take another drink of my beverage. Flip over to the giveaway screen, and when that pops up on my chat, then I'll go ahead and throw in the stop. Hot Chica Vapor, how you doing tonight? Thanks for coming by and hanging out with us. You can piff to anybody you want, Misty. That's awesome. So I'm going to throw in the stop. There is the stop for the giveaway, so let's go ahead and generate this number. It's the number 13. I see Zombill right there at the bottom of the list with the 13. I'm going to see if there was any late stragglers before I start scrolling. It looks good. So I see Zombill with the 13. Does anybody else have his 13? Malachi was close with his 14. So was Twisted Vapor. But there can only be one, and it looks like it's going to be Mr. Zombill for this awesome prize pack tonight. Congratulations, Zombill. Way to go, my friend. Thanks for coming by and hanging out with us here at VapeOn.tv. We really appreciate you. Folks, make sure you show your love to Mr. Jeff Dean from Innovate.com. It was so awesome to have you hang out with us here tonight, Jeff. We really appreciate you being here, brother.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate you having me, and I appreciate you guys at VapeOn.tv. And I appreciate everybody that was here for sure. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. And use that 10% off code, please.
Code JEDI.
Yeah. Yes, code JEDI with 2 I's, JEDII. Go there, grab some good juice, man.
Yes, and Zombill, I'm going to need you to head on over to Innovate.com, my brother, and pick out the flavor. And then I'm going to give you my email address here in a PM just in a second. And there's my email address. Let us know what flavor you want, your nicotine strength, and Jeff's going to get you off this awesome prize pack that has the starter kit.
Put that. Hey, don't put that on me. I'm going to make Tom do that. That's like legal crap.
So
yeah,
Tom,
I'm going to be here jamming. You know what I'm saying?
Tom's going to mail that stuff out. It looks like you get a 15 ml bottle of juice and a great starter kit and an amazing CD. And was there a T-shirt on that one? I thought I heard T-shirt, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, what the heck. But wait, we only have certain sizes and all that, so I need to know the size and the color.
All right, so along with your nicotine, with your juice flavor and nicotine strength, let us know your shirt size, and he'll send you whatever color he has available in that size. But if you have a color preference, let me know. It's James E. Detar II, Kyle. Jeff, we really appreciate you hanging out with us tonight, buddy. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. If you ever want to come on and hang out again, dude, just contact me. Let me know. We'll get it set up, and you can come on and promo whatever you want, whenever you want. You're more than welcome.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I really do. And
right.
You did an awesome job, too. And I really appreciate you doing this. And, you know, good talking with you. It was a good chat back and forth, man. We had a good time.
I had a great time. I had an absolutely great time. And, you know, like I said, I always enjoy hanging out with cool folks. And you got your awesome tunes. I really appreciate you being here. Cheers to you, my friend.
Hey,
Thanks
man.
a lot.
I've moved on to coffee, but cheers to you as well.
I don't blame you, my friend. I've got an easy day at work tomorrow, so I've still got a couple more.
Enjoy them.
Yes, I will. All right. So, folks, please remember to check out Innovate.com. They've got the code JEDI with 2 I's for 10% off of their juice. That code's going to last, I think I saw a month, but maybe till the end of the month. And then if you haven't checked out Innovate's Facebook page, definitely make sure you check them out and give them a little like. You know, we love we love having good vendors on our show. And Jeff, we can't thank you enough for being here. We had a great time tonight. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, man. I did too. And remember, folks, live long and vapor.
That's right. And we'll go ahead and close down on that. We've got Vape Boys coming up next with Space Cadet. I'm not exactly sure who all's in, but it's going to be Vince and Country Guy and Dirt, and I might even sneak by for a little bit myself. So we don't know who's going to be there, but we hope it's an awesome time. Or we know it's going to be an awesome time. Stick around, folks, for Vape Boys. Thank you so much for hanging out. We appreciate you all coming by to VapeOn.tv to be here with us.